Morning, y'all. Fuzzy biker this morning. Yes, we're at Fairfield Inn in Waco, Texas. All that traffic over yonder. There's the hot rod. I guess it's a Ford today. Ford F-350. Got a really nifty Interceptor. 650 in the back. Black on black, you know, with the mags, all that neat stuff. We're going to be taking that from here all the way over to McAllen, Texas. So yesterday we ran about 13 hours. We got about six and a half hours today plus stops. And I think it's a little over 400 miles. So about 9 a.m., maybe a little after, I think I am going to hop in the old hot rod and hit the road. I'll catch up with y'all a little bit. Wahoo! All right, my friends, we have driven for hundreds of miles. We're about 100 miles away from our delivery point. I don't know what town this is. That is a Whataburger. I've never had one. I've always wanted one, so we're going to go over there and try that. That's the interstate I was on. Look at the different plant life. So kind of an interesting ride. Got on the interstate, or got on the road. It was 35 south. I've been on that for hours. I was on that for hours. I've been on 281 now for quite a while. But it was just mind-blowing traffic, mind-blowing traffic. The infrastructure projects that are going on, they go on for miles and miles and miles, and they're of a scale that I've just never seen before. And you know, Texas, they do everything big in Texas. Well, yes, they do here. I've been to Dallas before. I've even been to Houston before, but I've never been this far back in. And I was just, you know, the road. We left Waco, we went to Austin, and the construction projects, I don't know, I mean, it's almost like they're rebuilding the whole frickin' thing. It was just miles, and the scale of it was just phenomenal, and the traffic was fast moving, and I mean, just the number of cars, and you know, I love riding in traffic. I love driving in traffic, but this was I don't want to say overwhelming because that's too much, but it was really something else. Then we got past San Antonio and got past that. Suddenly all the people just kind of stopped. You know, it was big open areas, these kind of weird kind of trees and plants and things. Kind of reminded me of the farther south I went. You know, there's some mining signs, there's some ranching, there was some oil. But anyway, the scenery, back to the scenery. The movie Two Mules for Sister Sarah, I think it was, back in the 60s. In the beginning of that movie, there's some opening scenes that I just remember vividly because the landscape is so different and beautiful, I guess. And anyway, it was kind of like that in a lot of ways, but just absolutely amazing, you know. And so the last hour or so, it's just absolute open areas. You know, car here, car there. I mean, wow, this old Iowa boy is just blown away. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to run in there, get myself a Whataburger. Catch up to a little bit. Hey, Fuzzy Biker here in McAllen, Texas. We just dropped off this absolutely gorgeous Interceptor. 2024, I think, is it? Yep. And this one has got the special Mark I tank, chrome and black. Blacked out engine. Everything's blacked out pipes, you know, blacked out tubes on the front, blacked out headlight, back of the headlight, and then of course the black on the tank. Isn't that just a beautiful bike? Check that out. Chrome back here, chrome tank, chrome crash bars, chrome rim on the headlight, chrome around here. Gorgeous thing, gorgeous thing. I think I drove, I think it's 1,200 miles down here to deliver this hot rod, and 1,200 miles home. So I'm gonna catch my breath and hop in that little pickup, that one right there, and get myself back on the road. Wahoo! Howdy y'all, Fuzzy Biker here. We have made it back to the Fuzzy Biker garage. Just threw my Royal Enfield Nervic jacket in there. We're gonna go get the old motorcycle. Get this truck back to where it goes. I'll show you a little bit about that truck in a minute, and a little bit of a list here for what we've done. Let's try to get out of the sun. We got a windy day here, and I don't have a sock over this camera, so we're gonna sit in the truck. So we got the motorcycle delivered. all the way down there in McAllen, Texas, about as far south as you can go in Texas and still be in Texas. That was amazing. Really neat countryside. The mesquite forest, I asked the guy that lived there, he said all these trees are mesquite. It was just amazing, you know, just amazing to me. And coming back from there, you know, I saw some deer and some coyotes and things like that. So wildlife down there. And I think I referenced Two Mules for Sister Mary movie from the 60s. That's how old I am. And so some of that was in there, I guess, you know, kind of cool. I did, I was going down and coming back, I noticed along the side of the road there was like these sand tracks, you know, on the edge of the mesquite forest, all the way up and down there, pickup trucks and the tracks in there. And what the heck is that? Well, that's for Border Patrol. They have white pickups with green stripes. I didn't know that. So you learn something, I guess. And then coming back, I had to actually, they had the interstate blocked off, and I had to go through a center, inspected your vehicles. They had like, it was a complex too. Kind of a weird feeling, you know. I'm in the middle of the country, Midwest. We always hear about, you know, that stuff on the news, but that's my biggest experience with it. So this is kind of an interesting statement. Of all the traffic, and I was in a lot of traffic, and we'll get to talk a little bit about that here in a little bit. The most predictable, the most reliable acting, the most consistent traffic I ran into were semi-trucks. Those guys were very good at what they did. I've got a lot of respect for those guys. As a motorcycle rider, I've had them actually go way out of their way to, you know, protect me from road debris and things like that. And here we are driving through the most bizarre construction I've ever seen in my life. Miles and miles and miles of the stuff, and these guys were, you know, no radical moves. Anyway, truck drivers are professional drivers. Give them a little respect. How's that? Coming home, I got lost in Dallas. I took a wrong turn. You know, there was the nav said do this. There were two choices. I took the wrong one, and it ended up routing me through town. I mean, you know, this was like midnight last night, and I'm going through these weird streets and vague signals, and anyway, it ended up putting him at 75, which took me up through the Native American area of Oklahoma eventually, and that was a nice way to go. But it was nighttime. I've seen it before. I've been through it before. But so that was an interesting thing. I'm looking at my list here as I talk to you. Traffic was really a rush down there. And also the mannerisms. So like in McAllen, the way there's like different social clues or different. I don't know how to explain this. They drive just a little bit different than we do here, you know, in Iowa. And in Dallas, they certainly drive different than we do here. You know, I got a lot of people telling me, oh, they drive crazy down there. I don't think they drive crazy. I think there's just so much more traffic and so much more road and so much more construction that to a novice like me, it seems crazy. You know, to just an average Midwesterner, that stuff is crazy. Now, the farther north, coming back, the farther north we went, the less traffic it was. By the time I got to Kansas City, you know, I usually go to Kansas City, and I'm just in awe about the construction and the traffic. It was nothing. Sorry, guys, but the construction was, you know, a couple miles here or so, and then the traffic, as you know, wasn't rush hour, but it was nothing like it was down there. I mean, it was just amazing. So about the construction down there in Texas, I am sure I drove through a couple hundred miles of construction, just a couple hundred miles of construction, and I just am blown away by that because, I mean, that is, you know, they had that big funding I don't know what structure, the bill they gave from Washington years ago to, well, anyway, that's where all the money went. It's not in Iowa. There's no people here, right? Compared to down there. But down there, boy, they are building miles and miles and miles of the most amazing roads I've ever seen in my life. I like, you know, I like that kind of engineering. I like looking at that. I watch videos on it. You can't believe it till you see it. The scale is just phenomenal. It was nice getting home. The traffic lessened up. The scenery got better. Yeah, well, I shouldn't say that. The scenery got more familiar, you know. And anyway, a little bit about the truck. I'll tell you about that, and then we'll call it quits here. The truck is a F350. I don't know what year it is. It's a four-door truck right here. It's got running boards. It's two-wheel drive. It's got about, I think it's got something like 280,000 miles on it, which they tell me that's not a lot. It's got this big old topper in there. Somebody asked, how do you get motorcycles in there? They actually go in. You take the mirrors off, open everything up, and they just slide right in. And I think they got a hitch because they've got a massive trailer they can pull. I think the trailer will, I can't remember, it's 5 motorcycles or 7 motorcycles or more, but really nice. The loads of power, you know, without a trailer. It just had loads of lots of noise there, loads of get up and go. You know, I do passes and it just passed like a sports car. Brakes, it's got new tires, of course. The brakes were I think the brakes worked really well, but I didn't have any panic situations, you know, so I would not want to have to try that. Big heavy truck like this, have to hit the brakes hard, that would be something else. Everything on the inside worked great. It's got a 6-speed transmission, automatic, you know, radio, all that's air conditioning, everything worked great. It was just a kind of a joy to run, you know, very comfortable, but not a comfortable ride. Coming back, especially when the bike, you know, when the bike going down with that 470-pound bike in the back, a little smoother, not much smoother, but a little smoother. But you know, it's got a F350 suspension on it, so it really pounds you in the rough stuff. So, but overall, it was pretty good, All right, my friends, it's a beautiful day. I think I'm going to run this bike. I'm going to run this truck back to Baxter Cycle, pick up my bike. If y'all in the market for a new or used Royal Enfield Triumph Classic British bike of any type, need parts, accessories, thingamajigs, doodads, anything at all, get yourself over to Baxter Cycle in the mighty metropolis of Marnie, Iowa, or go to BaxterCycle.com. Tell those fine folks Fuzzy Biker sent you. They ship motorcycles to most places. Hit like and subscribe if you would. Get out there and ride, my friends. Life is good. Wahoo!